record there. There you go. So, Mark, nice to see you. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Very nice
Good.
to speak with you. It's been a while.
It has.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I've
your
been.
studio,
Sorry,
your studio looks very similar to mine, Paul.
Oh, it is very, very similar. Yes, and in fact, it's the same studio.
That's right. How you going? Nice to see you.
It was the one that was put together by the middle fella here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The dude.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's his studio.
So I'm in the middle of we've been in lockdown here in my part of the world since the end of June. So let me see. So it's about 10 weeks now, I think. Maybe a little longer. Yep. Hence why the hair is getting like a bit 1960s. So I haven't been able to go and get a haircut.
Nothing compared to the photo you sent of me. You sent me of you when you were, what was it, about 21?
Probably when I was about 18. Actually, there's a picture on the wall over here. So so the hair was down to here in those days.
I'll use it as the thumbnail for the video. I'll do it side by side.
Yeah.
So no, I've been busy with my sort of Pete Dassey impressions, trying to make anything and everything. Started off when I actually had to go up to the nursery school because Eunice asked me to dismantle a wigwam that they'd got in the playground.
Oh yeah.
But it was such solid pieces of wood that I brought them all back and made the flower beds at the bottom of the garden. Then with what was left over, made the obviously Jock's kennel. and then since then I've been busy making all sorts of stuff out of recycled pallets, including, I think I showed you the chair that I made.
Oh, the throne. How does that work? The guitar moved at the same time. Is it got its own stand next to it?
No, it's because of course the room. So I'm lowering down, and the green screen goes down quite a bit. Let's see if I can get it right off the end, isn't it?
That's a nice bit of handiwork there, Paul.
Well, I quite enjoy it. Eunice asked me to make stuff specifically for the nursery, so I've made them a table. I've made them one of these chairs, and I've also got a small version of it as a bench, which will be for the kids. You know, it's just for the kids when they're being told a story, sort of thing. Yeah,
they're a good. So
yes, I've been busy with that, and that dog gets me up every morning. Even this morning, we're actually coming out of lockdown. I did my first gig with the band last night, the first gig for 18 months. And of course, you get home, you sort of, the gig didn't start till after 8 o'clock. Well, we probably got finished around about 11 o'clock, got packed up, got home. It was well after midnight. Woke up 3 in the morning with still half a can of beer in my hand. I went to bed.
It was in your hand.
It was, luckily, yes. He still wants his constitutional first thing in the morning.
Well, sounds like the dog's in control, not you, mate.
Well, I'm down now below 18 stone, so
for our American listeners, how many pounds that?
Yeah, let me work that one out for you.
Is it 14 pounds?
Yes, it is. Yes, yeah. So 18 times 14, 252. So I'm now down to 251 pounds.
Congratulations, well done.
But at one time I was over 20 stone, nearly 21 stone, which
wow.
For the height of me, I mean, I'm only a wee fella. I was wider than I was tall. rolling
down the hills, right?
Yes. And the trouble is,
congratulations, that's a big effort.
Thanks so much. I mean, the trouble is that when you're living a very sedentary lifestyle, it only escalates, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
You should get out and do more exercise, but it's
especially as you get older. I mean, your metabolism slows up anyway. So even more the reason to be mindful. So, yeah.
Saw some nice photos of that Carla Chase posted the other day of a lot of the family together. Alan.
Oh yes, they're up at Cribbets.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yes.
Fishing.
Yeah,
that's good to see. Any phone conversations with Mr. Avery?
Yes. I spoke to him on. Let me see. What's today? What is today? Wednesday. I spoke to him on. No, the 10th is Friday, so it's the 8th. Yeah. So I spoke to him on. When did I speak to him? It was either Monday morning or Sunday morning.
Right.
But he rang me this morning.
Yeah.
And I was just away from my phone momentarily, and I missed the call, which I always feel crappy about. But nonetheless, I speak to Stephen regularly, so he's very good. He's healthy and happy, and looking forward to the steps ahead of him as far as the work that Kathleen Zellner's doing. Yeah. And he talks very positively about his future, and we always have a good laugh. So
excellent. Was there
amazing men?
Yeah, sure. Was there any thoughts in your mind that Kathleen Zellner might appeal to the Court of Appeals to point out to them the mistakes they've made, or did you think she just thought these guys just haven't got a clue as to this case?
Well, I don't know what would have been going through her mind, but I would have speculated she probably decided that, why go back and try to appeal to the people who were stupid enough to write that ruling, right? Yeah, so you might as well go up the line and get a fresh set of eyes and ears on the topic. So her arguments are basically about procedure and the Court of Appeal showing a total lack of understanding of the facts of the case. So you're better off making those arguments on a new set of ears, is the way I imagine she thought. So
one of the Supreme Court judges is Brian Hagerdorn, who was in the Court of Appeals for the Second District. Mm-hmm. And I remember people thinking that he would be not a good person to have as a judge, in that he wouldn't be on Stephen's side, but I've also heard reports that he's very much on Stephen's side. So it'll be interesting to see now that we go.
Well, you want to be on the side of what's right.
Yes. Yeah.
If we take Stephen's name out of it,
mm-hmm.
Stephen, by any reasonable independent view, is entitled to a minimum of an evidentiary hearing, if not a new trial. So they should be just judging on the merits, and the merits say that he's entitled to something that hitherto he's been denied. So if they're going to be true judges, independent justices, they should be saying, no, Mr. Avery is deserving of, at a minimum, of an evidentiary hearing, if not a new trial. So,
yeah, one often wonders what would have happened in Brendan's case had there not been the Making a Murderer being released. What would have been the situation with Judge Duffin's decision? Would it have been appealed by Brad Schimmel?
Hard to say. I think Brendan is just, as we all know, is just a pawn in this game.
Oh yeah.
And him being released, they were and are still fearful of Brendan's release in terms of what it might mean to Stephen.
Yeah.
So anyone with any merit and people much wiser than you and I have already come to the view that Brendan's matter is a disgrace to the justice system, mm-hmm. and he should be out. There's no evidence against him other than that coerced statement. I wouldn't even call it a confession. He didn't confess anything.
No.
So the fact that Brendan still lingers in prison 15 years after the event is just a disgrace to American justice.
It is, particularly as the mood is changing, with more and more states putting in place legislation that says that the police interrogators, when they're interrogating juveniles, they cannot lie, they cannot bluff. And that was one of the big things, wasn't it, about Judge Hamilton asking Laura Nyrider, are the police allowed to bluff? As if bluffing was some sort of, it was quite a pleasant thing, you know. I don't know if you remember, there was a TV program certainly here in the UK that was very popular called Call My Bluff.
Yeah, game show.
Yeah, the game show, you know, and it sounds friendly enough, doesn't it? Bluffing. It's not. Let's call it what it is. It's lying, and it's getting people to, you know, in the case of Brendan, just to acquiesce to everything that they wanted, you know.
But you know, Paul, I know we've said it 1,000 times before, but Brendan's fate laid right at the very beginning, where he was not given what he should have been given, and that was a proper legal representative to be with him. And to suggest he truly and knowingly waived his Miranda rights when a 16-year-old boy was just outrageous. And if he had had a legal representative with him, he would have been told not to answer any of those questions. And therefore there would have been no statement, no coerced statement, and they wouldn't have prosecuted him. So the matter fell over right at the rudimentary area of his right to representation. And that happened through the evil of men who were motivated by things other than Brendan's personal entitlements. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's
so bluffing and all that. They could have bluffed all they liked or lied all they liked, but if he had a proper representative in front of him, he still wouldn't have answered any questions.
Yes, the Michael Cicchini sums it up beautifully in his book about Brendan Dassey, where he talks about the fact that he's had clients who have been told by the police, "We know what happened, we just want it in your words." To which the client has replied, "Well, if you know what's happened, you don't need me, so I'm going." You know, and it's as simple as that, isn't it? You know, Brendan should have just stuck to his guns. I've actually just yesterday reached out to a fella who is in the opposite position of what Pete Dassey is. This fella is, I think in Missouri, is trying to get awareness of his dad's case. His dad has been locked up since I think about 40 years. And this case has gone on so long that his father has even turned down an Alford plea.
Yeah.
Which you know, any guilty person would take an Alford plea, would take the arm off. You know, if you were guilty and you were offered an Alford plea, of course you would take it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to have a chat with him at some point. What I also wanted to share with you is the Centre for the Integrity of Forensic Science.
Yes.
We had Kate Judson on during our Keep Talking Till They're Walking.
Yes, and Jerry.
And Jerry, that's right. Of course, yes. I got to chat with the good-looking one, and you got Jerry. So anyway, do you know about this? On Sunday, 6 o'clock Central Time.
Yeah.
Let me screen share. I've got it all lined up, ready to
okay,
go.
Sounds good.
Actually, this is the, I'm doing it the wrong way around almost, because it's toast to given with One Hope. CFS is excited to announce a special partnership with One Hope Wine. Starting August 27th through September 17th. Use our link and your purchase of wine will automatically give back 10% to CIFS. In connection with the fundraiser, CIFS will be hosting a live virtual Q&A with Dean and Jerry. So purchase your favorite wine and join us for a virtual happy hour. For Stacey, prefer something non-alcoholic? Sign up for our mailing list and we'll send you a recipe. So the virtual event details. It's this Saturday at the 12th. Sunday, sorry. You read it. I'm making a rubbish job of it.
No. So this Sunday, September 12th at 6 p.m. Central Time, virtual via Zoom. It's a free event, but suggesting a donation of $15. So that would make it 9 a.m. Monday for me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And for you, it would be
midnight.
God knows when.
Yeah, midnight.
Midnight.
Yep.
That's about right for a drink for you, Paul, is it?
Any time of the day is fine for a drink for me, because somewhere around the world it's happy hour every hour.
Correct.
So therefore, yeah, more than happy. There was something else I wanted to share. Let me see if I can find it.
You know what it says before you do that though? It says use our link. Where is that link?
I'm just about to get it. Just about to get that link. Hang on a sec. Yes, there we go. Has that come through for you?
I know, I'm still looking at the same.
Okay, let me do this. One sec, let me do this. I need to new share. Is that it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shop One Hope with wine X sips. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So it's at CIF Justice. Register for happy hour Q&A with. So where is the link? Subscribe, sign up for mailing list.
It's probably the first one, shop at the very top, Shop One Hope Wine. That one. You click on that, I'm sure that's going to take you to some ordering thing.
Yep.
I guess the other question I have is, what does it mean if you're in a foreign country? Do they still send the wine to you?
I very much doubt it.
So maybe I should buy it in the name of a friend in the US. So, yeah. Very good. Actually, it might be a good idea, Paul, if in your video thing you could put the links in the area so people can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you go. Award-winning pack. What's it? Just go back up there.
Yeah.
Bestsellers pack, $150 for 6 bottles. So, very good. That should last the night for you, Paul, one of those packs, right?
Possibly. Yes, I'm just wondering where this link is to actually get the Zoom link that you would need. Presumably, the link hasn't been created yet, because when people
didn't it have on that first set of pages you were looking at? Yeah, go up to there.
Yeah.
Down the bottom.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Register for happy hour Q&A with Jerry Buting and Dean Strand. So there you go. That's
There you go.
Webinar registration. I will put this link. I will copy it right now, because I think I know how to do this. You click on that bit there, and then you click on copy.
Yeah.
And then when I make this video and upload it, I will add that link.
Sounds good.
Yep. September 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
That would be the dude's time. But it's 6 o'clock for people in Manitowoc, midnight for the UK, and 9 o'clock
Monday morning.
On yes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting if you can actually put questions direct to Dean and Jerry, as in verbally put them, or whether you have to just probably often a chat.
Probably be typed questions, I'd say.
That's right. And certain questions relevant questions looked at.
Yeah,
I would imagine that would be the case. Okay.
Here we are. We're back
yes,
in the studio.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting, wasn't it, that Jerry said that although the Supreme Court do not take on many cases, that presumably they would still look at the merits of what Kathleen has put into her appeal to them.
You would think so, because in essence, even though her petition is sort of built on factual aspects, it's really an appeal based on the improper considerations of the Court of Appeal.
Exactly. So it's like,
it's not arguing facts, it's arguing the process that the Court of Appeal adopted.
Yes.
And in doing so, in her view and our view, denying Stephen his natural justice rights to an evidentiary hearing. So if I'm the Supreme Court, I'm thinking, well, this petition is questioning the way in which our lower court, that in this case, the appeal court, deliberated on matters of law, right? And matters of precedent. It's not really a matter of the facts of the case, even though they form part of it. So to me, it's a meritorious thing for them to consider. So, and I believe they only need 4 of the 9 justices, is it? That they only need 4 of them to say yes, to want to deal with it, for it to be dealt with.
Good.
I think that is. I think that's what it is.
I mean, I was disappointed, obviously, as everybody was, with the decision by the Court of Appeals, but very disappointed in the fact that they clearly didn't know the case, did they? And they were basically just rubber stamping what Angela Sutkovich had done, and in such a way that
well, it's a bit more than that, Paul. Actually, they were coming to conclusions about facts of the case that were incorrect. So
yeah, indeed.
The question is, how did they come to those factual errors unless they were fed them from someone who had the wrong, the facts the wrong way around themselves? Because the Court of Appeal, they should only be looking at the matter of the record, which would be the trial and the petitions and responses by the various persons involved. So to come to a view about numerous items that were factually incorrect, like they saying the state wasn't arguing that the bullet passed through Teresa's brain. I hate even talking about that because it's so horrible. But how did they come to that conclusion? You can't come to it by reading it because it's not there to read. So how did they come to that conclusion? You could only have come to that conclusion by getting information from a third-party source. Well, they're not allowed to do that. They're supposed to be judging it on the information before them and on the case records. So
you've got Ken Kratz saying that, well, I never said that that bullet went through Teresa's skull. No, it wasn't you that said it. It was Dr. Jensen, wasn't it?
Yes.
He was the one that explicitly, he was the expert called in the case and said,
Well, what about all the, the famous Dr. Eisenberg's famous testimony about the beveled edges of the skull, where the consistent with a bullet, piercing the skull bone. Where was that discussion if it wasn't part of saying the bullet went in the head? So, I mean, it's just, So anyway, I do obviously believe the Supreme Court should consider the matter. What they come as a conclusion is another thing. But the appeal court, you cannot allow the appeal court to give a decision like that and let it be uncontested. So
absolutely. And I mean, even if the Court of Appeals were to deny it and then it went to habeas review and the same pathway as Brendan, then you can still come back with the Thomas Sawinski.
And anything else
that hasn't
that
been
may,
dealt with. Yeah.
let alone anything else that might, any other newly discovered
Yes.
evidence that's not yet on the table.
Yes.
So we all know from Kathleen Zellner's own statements that she never stops searching, right?
Why? Yes.
So she'll always be 3 or 4 steps ahead of the knowledge, that's for sure. So that you can guarantee that. So
any guesses as to how long it would be before the Court of Appeals gives a decision on whether to look at this case or not?
You mean the Supreme Court?
Sorry, Supreme Court. I heard about 12 months is typical.
And Paul, I wouldn't know from any experience, but I would have thought, since they don't take many cases, this is just a matter of procedure. It's not, did the Court of Appeals properly consider the issues? You'd like to think that they could deal with it relatively quickly, maybe by Christmas. But how do I know they would do that? No, I don't. But let's hope it's not another long-winded process. So,
indeed. So, just to finish off on a lighter note, what's the weather like over there down under?
Well, where I am, we've entered spring, so we're into spring now. So still a little bit cool in the evenings, but during the day in Celsius, it's about 23, 24 degrees at the moment, which is quite pleasant. It's in the 70s or 80s in the old measure. So, it's quite nice. So we're hopeful of getting out of our lockdown in the next 6 weeks or so. Because the vaccination, it's all predicated on the level of vaccination. So we were very slow off the mark because we didn't have enough vaccine. And we're rapidly getting, we've got, for example, in my state, New South Wales, which is the largest state in Australia by population, we've got 75% of people have had their first dose of vaccine. And something like about 45% have had double doses.
Wow.
And given that 70, the lag between first and second dose varies depending on what vaccine's been used, but you could reasonably expect by mid-October we'll be very probably at 75 to 80% fully vaccinated.
Good.
And they've used that 70 and 80% mark as the mark where they're going to change the policy settings about lockdowns, about ability to travel outside the country and between states and so on. So hopefully there'll be a bit of freedom coming our way.
So is the rugby league season more or less finished now?
We're into the semi-finals.
Oh, right.
Yes, that's all been transferred since the lockdown up to Queensland.
Yeah.
And all the games are being played up there. All the teams relocated up to Queensland. The grand final for the first time will be played up there. So we've got 4 weeks of finals football, and then 3 weeks of finals football, and then the grand final in the first weekend in October, I think it is. So.
And your team is the Rabbitohs?
That's it, South Sydney. We're in there. We finished
you're
third.
in it? Oh, excellent.
Yeah, we're finished third. So we're playing on Saturday night against the Panthers, the Penrith side, which is the outer Sydney suburb side.
Yes.
So, yeah. But
okay. Now we're just coming towards the end of the Speedway season, which for Berwick will officially finish on Saturday with the last league meeting. But the junior team, the development team, they've got 2 more meetings at the end of the month. But I was going to share one other picture with you.
That wouldn't be the photo of one of the new Berwick fans of the furry type, was it? Oh, that one! I love the jacket.
It's my shirt. It's my disco shirt. I
noticed the beer over your left shoulder there.
I don't know how that got there, but yeah. This was me on Saturday night just gone.
Very swish, Paul.
Yeah.
Did I not see a photo of Jock at the Speedway somewhere along the way?
Yes, I'll get that one up as well. If you don't mind. Just bear with me. Bear with me. He's here somewhere. There it is. I'll send that one. Let me just go back. There you go.
Where are you, Jock? Oh, there he goes. Looks like he's just finished a lap. So, and he's got a bow tie on.
Well,
wow.
Because
I didn't realize it was formal dress, was it?
Oh yes. If I'm going to look smart, I want him looking smart as well.
I see he's in black and white, so that's
well, yeah. The Berwick colours are actually black and gold, and the club, right. the bar which is attached to the. Oh, sorry, let me do you one more, because this is one of my favorite of all pictures. Just bear with me one moment. Let me just set this up. There we go. Let's go back. Here we go.
Ooh.
So that's the Speedway Stadium, which goes obviously around the outside of the Berwick Rangers football pitch. This is the entrance that we come in at. These are the turnstiles. This is all car parking. This is the Black and Gold Club here. Brilliant venue. And obviously you've got a smaller football team called Tweedmouth Rangers play there. And then in the distance here, is that mouse working for you? Can you see the mouse?
Yeah. Is that a viaduct for the train or something?
That's the train. Yes, that's the train viaduct. Absolutely beautiful. And then here we've got the old bridge and the new bridge over the Tweed.
Tweed. And am I looking out to the North Sea there? Is that what I'm looking at?
Indeed, absolutely, yeah. Along that coast, up about 15 miles is St. Abbs, where we had that, where we took yourself and Stacey. Yeah. Up to that lighthouse on that windy.
So when I would have come up to see you on the train from London.
Yes.
Is that the main train line coming through? Does it come through there?
Yep, you would have gone over that bridge. In fact, if you look carefully, I think there is a train actually on the track at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah.
There
you go.
That's the one.
So I've been there.
You have, yes. You've overlooked.
Only briefly. But...
Yeah, you've overlooked the Speedway.
And I'll keep that in mind next time I come through. Hopefully that'll be next year, Mr. Cabaldi. I'm hoping to head your way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
For Berwick's last meeting, we've got a new number one for the one-off meeting, and it's Jason Crump, 3 times world champion. He came out of retirement. Australian Jason Crump.
Oh, that makes sense then.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to miss it because Eunice has organized we did the first one last month. Don't know if you're familiar with a program called Come Dine With Me.
No.
It's here in the UK. It's where you get couples over 4 nights go to each other's house for a meal, and we hosted the first night. Well, there's 7 couples altogether involved in this, and so Saturday, it was arranged a long time ago. Was this coming Saturday is when we're going to go just across the road. It's just a short walk and stagger back once they're done. But unfortunately, this wasn't supposed to be Berwick's last meeting. This meeting it's been rescheduled because it was rained off 4 weeks ago. So I'm not going to even going to be able to get to this meeting. I've chewed it over in my mind. How can I possibly get out of this? Come Dine With Me. Not that I don't want to go, but you know, the lure of going to Berwick, and then they tell us that they've got Jason Crump riding for us on this one-off meeting. You know, it's like, oh,
maybe you should schedule the Come Dine With Me in Berwick.
Yeah. No, it would. Eunice could kill me, even if I was to mention anything about, you know, how can I get off. No,
yeah, I'm sure you have a good time no matter what.
I'm sure we will. Yes, yeah. The only thing I can hope for would be that it rained again on Saturday, and that the meeting had to be put back. that would be the only way I think that I could get to see this final meeting. So anyway, we're going to do a rain dance on Saturday.
Sounds good, mate. I'm sure you'll do well. So
anyway, I'm gonna say cheerio. It's 9:30, just after for you.
Yes, 9:35 p.m.
Yeah, it's just after 1:30 midday here. So to say, I've got a gig to do again tonight. I did one last night, and I've got the same venue, same people, although it's the today is when the bride and groom actually get married, and it's going to be more the family. Last night's event was more for the friends that live in and around Edinburgh. So it was like a pre-wedding party, and tonight is the sort of official, where we start things off with the first dance, wedding waltz, and all that kind of stuff. But we're only doing an hour, and then we get to come home. So
perfect,
happy days. Yeah.
Well, good to speak with you, Paul.
And you, Mark. Yes.
And no doubt we'll have a chat again soon. Hopefully, we'll hear some more things regarding the Supreme Court.
Yes. Yeah. As I say, that one or two people were asking me, they were concerned where had I got to. Rest assured, I'm still here, and I have obviously been busy with Jock and furniture and all sorts of stuff, but I'm getting back on the train. But I am, as I say, keen to have a chat with this son who's trying to get justice for his father. So hopefully get something lined up with that. And Monday morning for you. What's it? Happy hour with Dean and Jerry.
Happy hour with Dean, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll be enjoyable.
It will be, I'm sure. Okay.
All right, my friend.
Yeah.
You take care.
I will do. And you.
All the best.
Cheers. Bye.
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 Bye.